I'll say it time and time again. Reviewing your feedback is one of the most crucial actions when it comes to just developing any skill. So today in this video, me and you are going to learn exactly why we need to review our film sessions, how exactly we can record our trades and successfully store them, and then last but not least, how to gain the most out of our film sessions so that we make new insights and observations that then leads to us progressing even further as a trader. Let's get started, bro. So the first question I know you're asking right now is, why should I even care to record my film sessions in general, right? Why not journal instead? And I'll start off by telling you a story of me, which similar was in your position not too long ago. A few months ago, I had never cared to watch, nor did I ever care to journal, film, anything along the lines of that. Because honestly, I thought it was just a waste of time. When I looked at the levers of actions and which one would give me the most progress, film/review/journaling was the bottom of the pile. However, I remember like a few weeks ago, I was really stumped by this problem that I had in trading. You see, I had just switched over from MNQ to NQ. In my style, I needed to know exactly what was counted as strong delta. And when you make that switch from pairs, the delta in volume changes because of the different pairs. Even if it's the same asset like NQ, just given the fact that it's different contracts will change that alone. So what I decided to do was I decided to record both MNQ and NQ's delta side by side so that then later after the session, I can make a correlation between the two. Now this was the first step where I understood how film session or reviewing your film is important once you have a question that you need to answer. But we'll get back to that a little bit later when we go over how to gain the most of this. So when I watched the film side by side, guess what? That exact same day, probably 10 minutes after viewing the recording, I was able to find out the answer. The reason why we need to journal or review film session is because we need to be able to review our feedback to make observations. Because one thing that is certain about markets, it's always going to change. There are going to be multiple different market regimes. So in order to be able to observe what market conditions is, you need to have some sort of idea of what it's been like before. Hence, why reviewing film, I find, is more important than journaling, or a better alternative. So let's talk about how to record and also how to store and gain access of it so that you can, constantly watch any base films you want. So the first thing that you're gonna need is you'll need OBS or Streamlabs, whatever one that you wanna use, fine by me. But you need one of them because these devices or platforms are able to record your screen. And the second thing you'll need is an external hard drive. A Samsung T7 will do just fine, and that's what I've been using. I've had this bad boy since the last 400 days, and it still has a shit ton of memory. And I think this is only 1 terabyte. So those are the two tools that you'll need in order to start recording your session. And it's as simple as setting up your Streamlabs or OBS to record your screen and then saving it on your external hard drive for later review. Now, let's talk about even, the better part of the video of how to gain the most out of our films when we're reviewing them. So the first things first, you need to know what you're looking for. I think clarity makes action a whole lot easier. And the clearer that you understand what you need to do, the more consistent you can be in doing it. The first tip or piece of advice when it comes to reviewing your film session, bro, is that you just need to have a question in mind. Grab a notebook and just write out the question that you have going into your film session. Now, these can be any type of questions that are along the lines of your trading, such as why am I, FOMOing into trades? Why am I doing this? Why did this trade lose here? Whatever, the question doesn't matter. You just need to write down the question so you can know what to look for in your trading. There's so many times where I've just laid back and just reviewed the film and was like, okay, cool, I'm good. And I didn't gain anything out of the session. It's because I didn't know what I was looking for. Once you know what you're looking for, you can find it a lot easier. And once you find these little itty bitty pieces of your trading performance or strategy or whatever, right? You can start to tweak and enhance it. And this is where real progress comes in. So step 1, grab a notebook and write out a question. Whatever question you have about the markets or about your trading style, write it out. And then you want to review your film, almost like how a detective analyzes a crime scene. You want to look for pieces and clues that can help you answer the question. If you can't answer it in that one day, go back to your previous day film, but don't stop reviewing film until you have that question answered. That way, by the time you're done with your film session, not only will you have your question answered, but you know exactly moving forward what your trading goals should be. And it should be to work on implementing whatever answer that you've gotten from that question. Now, what if you don't have a question in mind? Now, this is where I had to create something because some days I trade really well and I don't really have anything that sticks out or anything that I'm curious about my trading style. So what I would do is I will start to play a game called Would You or Would You Not? Hear me out. Basically, what you're doing is you're going to a day where you don't remember what the film results was. So exactly, you don't remember what the result of your trades were. You don't remember what trades were winners, what trades were losers, and you're just going right to the entry. You don't go any further, and you're pausing right there. And then you're sitting there and asking yourself, would I take this trade again, right? Or would I not? Before you even press play, figure out what you would have done if you would have taken the trade and if you wouldn't have taken the trade, and write out the reasoning for each of them. If I wouldn't have taken this trade because we were too close to news and X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 have all your decision factors written out. And the same if you would take the trade. And then play out the trade, see how the trade turns out. The result of the trade doesn't really matter. It just matters about your decision making. So if you chose that you would take the trade and the trade fell through, then something in your decision making may have went wrong, or you may have just, caught the bad end of the stick. It doesn't matter. This still allows you to improve on the factors that went into your decision making, understand what factors you should listen more to, and understand what factors you should probably tune out. So to end off the video, I am going to give an illustration of me playing this game, would you or would you not, while reviewing my film, just so you get a better idea of it. So as you can see, bro, I have film review sessions from July of last year. It's really neat to know exactly how your trading has changed. I was trading on TradingView a year ago, and now I'm on, Quant Tower, which gives me a little bit more data. And now I'm looking at level 2, and back then that shit was completely non-existent to me. Now what you want to do is simply, right now that you're recording, you can see everything. You got your whole simple, but it's not easy. Whatever you're thinking in your head, say it out loud so it can be captured in your recording as well too. That way, not only do you get a chance to look back and see your actions, but you also get to hear your thought process as well too. That's pretty neat. I'm gonna suggest that I took the trade for the upside break. I hope I did. So would I or would I not take this trade? So the first thing that I'm gonna ask myself is, looking at it, I did take the higher breakout and we are trending upwards. As I can see on this little bit portion that's showing here in a 5-minute, we are trending upwards. So we're going with momentum. So I actually would take this trade. We don't have anything that it seems to be blocking or be used as a resistance. Maybe we could use yesterday's value area low as a little resistance right there, that point of control, or we can use it more of a draw. But for me, it doesn't matter. I still would take this trade. Now, what are the reasons for me taking this trade? Well, I just mentioned one of them. Momentum was on our side. The second one that I would want to be looking at is I would want to be looking at Delta. So Delta, this is, I'm assuming this one right here at the top is MNQ, or no, sorry, the bottom is MNQ. This one is NQ because of the lower volume. So NQ, we're getting 144 range. This is the equivalent of a strong 400 in MNQ for me. The delta, or the volume, is at 2200, and it looks like our average volume is around 33.5, so we're a little over half, 19 seconds in. So we have a good chance of reaching that next level of or reaching our average volume on the session in this 1 minute candle. So the reasons why I would take this trade is 1, momentum, 2, strong delta, 3, a pretty strong volume going into this candle. We're most likely going to close pretty close to that average volume on this 1 minute candle. So those 3 pretty good reasons for me to want to take this short breakout. I mean, I'm targeting 20 points. Once I hit 10 points, my stops go to break even. So it becomes a free trade from there. So then I would play it out, and we'll see how it plays out. Now, one thing that I will mention, as I'm noticing here, is that how we kind of started to slow down here, and it's almost like we're starting to get a little range going, right? It's like the volume died out over here on the 1 minute. So that's something that I would be wary of. And if this trade was to lose, I would say, okay, cool. This little aspect of markets is something that I need to pay attention to a lot more. So we'll play it out. So it turns out the trade was a loser. Now, the last thing that I mentioned in the decision of why I wouldn't take the trade, that would be something that I would pay attention to a lot more when I'm trading, and depending on what the current conditions is. For example, if we're having conditions like this, I might be a little bit more hesitant on taking a breakout until I see full confirmation. And this is just a small example of how you can play the game, would you or would you not, and you can literally build upon your understanding, your decision-making skills when it comes to trading. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, bro. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.